Officers arrived on scene. They found a deceased female in the back of a vehicle. Officers then found the reporting party and the male on scene at the mall. The male suspect was detained by officers there without incident. Through the investigation, the deceased female was identified as Emily Isabella Ehrenberg. She's a 23-year-old Sioux Falls resident. And the suspect in the case was identified as Tyson Andrew Christians. He's a 24-year-old Sioux Falls resident. Tyson and Emily have been in a relationship, a boyfriend-girlfriend dating relationship for some time. Through the investigation, we were able to discover that Emily had several stab wounds. So detectives, since last night, have been processing the car and Emily's body. There's an autopsy that's happening this morning, and are continuing to conduct search warrants here in town to try to nail down a scene of exactly where this happened. Currently, Tyson is lodged at the Minnehaha County Jail on aggravated assault domestic charges. And as the investigation proceeds and progresses, and we have some autopsy results later today and some more information gathered, more charges related to the death are expected later today as we get to that point. So we're very early in the investigation. That's the information that I can give you. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them if I have any of that knowledge.
Does it appear that she was killed in the car or somewhere else?
That's something that we're trying to determine right now. It may have happened in the car. I don't necessarily think that it happened at the Empire Mall. That's just where they ended up when the police got called.
So were they at the mall when the reporting party called this in?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now, the suspect was not the reporting party, correct?
Correct. The suspect had gone there to meet someone and had told this person that he had killed his girlfriend, and then that person called us, and we responded.
So was it assumed that the incident took place elsewhere then, and the body was brought to the mall?
We don't have any, I guess, other than assumed, but we don't have any evidence right now that suggests that it happened at the mall or in the parking lot of the mall. So we're running down leads and information to try to figure out exactly where it happened here in Minnehaha County. But we believe it happened in Minnehaha County. So,
is there an approximate time of death, or?
The victim was last known to be alive when she had left her work sometime around noon. So between that time and the time we got dispatched. So,
are the victim and the residents citizens of Sioux Falls?
Yeah, they're Sioux Falls residents. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Sam.
I don't have anything on the log unless you had any specific questions for me.
I do. Do you guys know anything about the Project 2025 protest happening at the courthouse tomorrow?
So we did have, there was a flyer that got sent around. Somebody else reached out about that same question. We did have somebody yesterday that was, I guess, went through the steps and got a permit for that. I don't really know what the assembly is, but it is a permitted event now.
Will there be a police presence with it being at the courthouse potentially?
I guess I can't give into specifics on that. Generally what happens when there's a permit in place, I mean, let me just back up a second. When there's assembly, there's a city ordinance that says anytime there's 25 or more people, there needs to be a permit, and that permitting process is really just to make sure that it's done safely. We've worked with groups, sometimes suggest a different location or maybe kind of tweak what they're planning on doing, and that's to make sure that in a safe environment. There are some protests where you have people with an opposing view and may have some counter ideas or counter protests, and so we're trying to balance that. So anytime we have an assembly, there's always some officers that kind of monitor it. We're not sitting there watching everything take place. If there's problems, the officers will check and make sure things are safe. So there may be some officers that are down in that area just to make sure things are going smoothly, but if most, I'd say 90% of the time, when these permits are issued and we work with the organizers, we may have an officer that drives by and says, yeah, everything's good, and we don't bother, we're not there to interfere or bother with anybody. So long answer to that. There may be some police that are in that area, but we're not specifically there to monitor and watch what they're doing. We're just making sure that people are safe.
That's all I have.
Is there anything on missing family of 4?
No, nothing new. I mean, we're just trying to find them just to make sure that they're okay. I mean, there's no laws that have been broken, no crime was committed, so they're not in trouble at all. We just want to make sure that they're okay, and that was how that information came in. Somebody requested us to check and make sure that they and the kids are okay. So I don't have anything new on that. We're still looking for them.
So are they officially like missing persons, I guess, in terms of what you guys are doing? Or are you just kind of following up on that well-being?
I would say it's just a well-being check at this point in time. They're adults. They can go where they want to. Obviously there's some concern because they have some young children with them, so that's, I think, where mostly it lies. But the missing person and check the well-being can be a little bit fluid. It just kind of depends on the information that comes in, and each case is a little bit different. The way this one came in, it's really just to check on them to make sure everything's okay.
While we're on missing people, Tyler Weathersby, any
Nothing,
updates on that?
no, nothing new with Tyler yet. We're still kind of in a holding pattern. We've got different things that we're working on doing, but obviously haven't had any success in finding him. Anything else? Okay, thanks.
Are we getting mug shots?